Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, show's starting now?
Let's go ahead and pretend like we're just now starting.
Folks, if you are just tuning in here to this episode, yes, you've missed a whole lot of conversation about certain things that are not related to the riffs and rhythms. Go check out our Patreon page.
The Riffs and Rhythms and the management of the B3 Podcast Network do not necessarily share the views of itself.
No. But here we go anyway.
All right. So, and any reproduction, recording, or rebroadcast of this in whole or in part is specifically disallowed by the NFL.
Especially an 8-track.
Absolutely. So that was a bad quote, but they always say that at the beginning of every football game, don't they?
That's right. That's right.
So, hey, guess what? I'm Kevin McLaughlin, and this is the Riffs and
Rhythms Podcast, and I'm Paul Robertson. So we are back.
We are just already neck deep in it right now.
Like I said, if you're just tuning in here this episode, thanks for tuning in here. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, review to the podcast audio on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, follow all the stuff. So, especially our Patreon page, which you'll definitely get a chance to see some of our conversation we just had about aliens and other stuff.
They're already listening.
Well, go back and listen.
Go listen to, subscribe to this on a different network too.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So, yeah.
And guess what else? We got our guest back. He was cool enough to come back after all the things we said to him last week. Bill, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me back.
So good, man.
Bill had some great stories last week.
I know Bill is a freaking
I think he's probably got a lot more still pent up in there. He's waiting to.
He's got stories about the stories.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. Yeah. Especially I want to hear stories about Kevin. So.
We could probably pull out a few.
All right. Okay. They're there. They're out there.
Yeah.
Nobody tells them to me, but I know there's a lot.
So, but yeah, before we dive in here, and I know we were talking about last episode because it was just before this event down at the Kravis Center. There was drum review.
The drum review at the Kravis Center Rinker Playhouse.
So I know you're the riffs part of this podcast, the guitar guy, but what did you think of a drum-centric performance show?
It was a different kind of thing. It was a good show.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Good. So, yeah, the Kravis Center's really cool, great. I mean, the acoustics, the sounds, everything. I mean, the Kravis Center's awesome.
Yeah,
so
Kravis Center was well built.
So, yeah. So, cheers. Thanks, Todd, again, for the tickets there. Again, we got a lot of stuff, again, to support each other and so forth. And, yeah, so, again, one of our vendors there who supported us at the festival as well, too. So, thanks, Todd, for coming down there and hanging out with us. So, but yes, I mean, here, December, I mean, we're already like almost halfway through December.
I know, we're halfway through December. Can you stand it? There's only like seconds left to shop for Christmas.
I'm not done. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be.
No, I'm not.
But you know what is coming up, though, between now and the end of the year is, besides Christmas and shopping at the last minute at the, Circle K, is
Chris Mahana Kwanzaa Day.
Is Brad Brock's 40th birthday.
What?
Yeah,
I thought he was at least 60.
That Grecians works really well for him.
Brad Brock is going to turn 40?
That's right, man. He's a pup.
He complains about his age in front of me, and I just want to smack him. Oh. We should have a funeral for his youth.
Yeah. He's got a big 40. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what he's got planned for the. So he is a December 31st baby. He's a New Year's Eve baby.
A New Year's Eve baby.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so here we are, December 10th. Here, totally. Again, I just can't believe the year has flown by. It's been crazy. We've put on a music festival. We've done over 60 plus episodes here, in this up to date starting since last year.
Oh, and by the way, this episode is fueled.
Oh, that's right.
Old St. Pete bourbon style whiskey. You should drink some, but you can't have this because I like it.
Also fueled by the energy harnessed by the Egyptian pyramids.
I need fuel.
That's right.
Bill's like
They took
yeah, he
each
goes,
one
yeah,
of
he
these
goes-
and they rolled it up to the top of a pyramid without the aid of any modern technology.
So, I guess Kevin can't get up either.
Okay, don't get back down because then you're gonna have to get back.
Hold
up
on.
Oh, you're not going to bring it to me?
Yeah. Yeah. What's great about
Only got so much over here.
so it's right, Devin. This is the great about this camera view here. We get to see Bill's ass on this shot, right? So
Oh, there you go. There's a lot of real estate involved in that. Plenty to go around.
Whole lot of booty.
There you go.
Like a cliff face.
Oh my!
he's gonna
Says
build.
for sale.
He's gonna build a house on that.
It's like Tony Curtis's chin times 1,000.
That'd be an amazing pickup line, girl. I want to build a house on that ass.
5 stories right there. Pop, 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 pop.
Let me know how,
There
let me
you
know
go.
how
You
that
got
works.
you got a firm foundation.
No, I just want to put a TV tray on it.
Girl, where are we going to put the kitchen?
Devin, let me know how that works out for you. So, oh my God, yes. So here we're
That's
back.
all
with
like
Bill.
borderlining on Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, hickory dickory dock.
So his thing was he'd like to put an ashtray on it.
Wow.
Well, that's shortened the conversation quite a bit. What are we really here to talk about here? We've got, you know what? Let me go ahead and break the ice and talk about the fact that my album release party has been rescheduled from last May, and it's going to be even better than we ever imagined. The Kevin McLaughlin Band is doing its rescheduled album release party at, where are we doing that at? We are doing it
Riverwalk, right?
at the Riverwalk in Stuart, Florida. And that's actually one of my favorite shows to play.
Yeah.
It's a great spot. It's tons of people will be commemorating the fact that the album came out in May of last year.
It's a soft launch.
Yeah, it's a soft launch. But the reason why we're doing that is because the originally planned album release party at this venue was canceled by rain, and we went ahead and started the after party 4 hours early. Right? So and we right? That's what,
Yes, we
that's
did.
exactly what we did. And so and I had the gall and the audacity to put on the entrance of the venue, party moved to the Sneaky Tiki. And people were showing up, even the vendors were showing up going, where do I set up? This place is really small.
It was an awesome party. So awesome that Sneaky Tea's not even in business anymore.
I know the city forced them to close after our party.
That's right. Damn.
Sorry, Darren.
Closed it down.
Yeah, but we had a blast. It was so like a good time worthy of becoming illegal.
So I think, we were, again, talking about the festival was, geez, it's just like it was forever ago now. But and something I noticed when we were doing our live stream, Devin was running the live stream of the music festival, was streaming it through our Patreon page, through to YouTube, unlisted. And the amount of claims that hit on music, and one of them was some of your music. Was a hit.
My publishing company is vicious.
So they have. So either it's a testament to how well you guys sound to match the algorithm. Thunder House, again, shout out to Thunder House, and then also to Devin for running the microphones and the system to push through the stream. But all three of those things were able to trigger some of this. Now, not all of the original music was flagged, but some of them may not actually have probably publishing like you do or Brad does or some of the other bands, but not all of them were. So, but yeah, that's a testament to he showed up. Some of the, I think, Day by Day was one of the
My
songs.
publishing company is looking out for me, and they don't care if it's me or not. They'll just block me.
That'd be kind of so. His publishing company is trying to sue himself, right?
Well, I've had to send them an email that says, yeah, I'm the one that you're trying to protect me from. Like, it's okay.
Yes, Kevin needs protection from himself.
I am the sole property owner of this content. Thank you for being vigilant, but it's me.
It's like they tell you that right before they hand you that white jacket with extra long sleeves, that you get to hug yourself all day.
Yeah, yeah. They
Made
tell
great
me it's for
Jacket,
your own good.
This is
Protecting it for yourself.
Yeah, we need to put you in one of those.
I've had it threatened multiple times, but so far, that there's a threat that you don't hear anymore. Like, if you don't stop that, they're going to back the white truck up to the front door.
Let's not.
When was the last time you heard that?
We're not politically.
Did your
correct
parents
anymore.
ever threaten you with that one?
No.
No.
Oh, maybe it was just
Yeah.
me.
Remember
That was
things.
not a threat.
Yeah,
They
things we were told, Kevin, in the 70s and 80s don't fly anymore. You're like, they're starving people in China. If you don't eat all your food, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of.
No, at the time it was Africa. So
Ethiopia.
And we know they got plenty of bats over there. They're fine.
yeah, exactly.
Fine.
We know what happens when you eat bats in
doing
China.
fine.
You got to watch it. Do you ever seen the South Park episode, Devin, about that?
That's a great idea.
How COVID
Let's
happened?
go back to that.
Oh yeah. All right, we'll have to talk offline about that. The South Park
Maybe
episode.
Africa and maybe North Korea is the place where people are starving.
Speaking of North Korea, did you hear about this when North Korea went into Russia to help Russia with fighting Ukraine? Right. That there was a story about how
They just left so they can go get something to eat.
no. So North Korea some of these soldiers for the first time discovered porn because now they're in a country that wasn't.
You can immobilize an entire army with porn?
Immobilize, right? Because now you're like, why do we want to do fucking anything if we got porn now, right? So
Well, yeah. We will defeat you without firing a shot. Well, it'll be a pictorial of a shot.
They have no more energy. They're just ordering pizza.
Yeah,
now.
that's-
Just,
They can't pull the trigger because their right finger is so tired now.
They'll be firing plenty of shots.
Yeah,
they
right.
they got thumb injuries like Mike Farrow.
Yeah, nobody will fight, but everybody who steps out of their tent slips and falls.
Anyway, so back to.
So now
back
we've
to-
got a bunch of incredibly horny North Korean soldiers that are just sitting still because for the first time in their life they've seen porn.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and all the women in North Korea are screwed because they've seen what really good-looking women look like now.
Russian women. Yeah, for sure. So
see, I know how that rolls, man. I had teenage boys, man. They just become useless. Just
kind of like this podcast, Bill.
they're not mowing the lawn. They're not going to do nothing after that.
All right, wow. So, no. To answer your question, I did not hear about the fact that the entire North Korean army was rendered defenseless because of porn.
I did hear about this.
See? There you go. Two fact. Yeah, there you go.
Certified.
Yeah.
Fact checked.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe our current authoritarian regime had a plan after all.
I don't know. I guess it works that way, So, but where the fuck were we going with this, man?
I don't know.
I'm
This
not
is-
sure how
this
we
is
got
some-
onto.
What's the rhythm of that story, Paul? Let's hear about all that. All right, so we got to somehow segue back to something relevant to riffs and rhythms.
Sip more bourbon.
Yeah,
More
for sure.
bourbon.
For sure.
You know what we can do is we can talk about the fact that my birthday's coming up.
65, huh?
No, I'm going to be 38 again.
We going to Chuck E. Cheese? Yeah. So what are you gonna do? What do you got? You got anything planned for your birthday?
Yeah, I'm just going to go sit with the North Korean army and watch videos.
Wow. Kevin Ung Yoon.
Yeah, with the emphasis on the ong. That's how you say hong in European.
Yeah. What's that like? Tea? Oolong tea? Yeah, that's what she said. Oolong.
Okay.
I got a laugh out of that. Off camera.
I want to know, do they look up Korean women? Or specifically?
I don't.
Like
I would. Yeah.
North Korean girl.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
what-
yeah, North Korean
yeah.
porn has got to be like,
So yeah. So why don't you start something saying what does North Korean soldiers look up?
yeah,
yeah.
most
Let's
viewed
search.
video
Yeah,
by North Korean
yeah,
soldiers.
What do Pornhub's search hits for North Koreans?
No, that's a worthy deal. Like,
Yeah,
ask
that's great.
ChatGPT what North
Well,
Korean.
Pornhub actually does publish their
searches. Right?
searches from the world. I
Yeah,
think.
they do.
I don't know if they'll have data for North Korea though.
I think I don't know, but I heard third hand that it's like stepsister
You
videos,
wish third hand.
stepmother videos, or that
Step ladder videos.
Step ladder.
step ladder
ladder porn.
videos.
Step
If
ladder
you're-
porn.
If you're North Korean, you'll need a step ladder to get up.
She's stuck in the attic.
Yeah, there you go.
Help her out. Help her down.
And now I'm nervous because I just found out that they post
Oh,
Yeah,
Pornhub right around Bill's house.
yeah.
Why is the red circle really big around this one, guys?
It's how they decide how to bolster the infrastructure for the internet.
We need a bigger pipe from the fiber.
We're getting way too much.
Why do
traffic
we
in
need
this
a
one
T1
location.
line to this neighborhood? I don't know.
It's like, we're going to install fiber optic for you.
Yes, there you go. There you go. So we really need to talk about something else.
I didn't do this.
So all right.
It's not my fault either.
Editor, insert transition here.
So Bill, let's maybe let's try to go right into our tales from the road. How about that? Let's go right into a story here from the road here. So I think again, last week you talked about falling off the back of the stage because you held your breath too long or you pushed too much air out and
Right.
you crashed off the back of the stage there.
Yeah, and the thing is what we do for our craft. Let's just put it into perspective here because as a musician, we do a lot of things for our craft. There's musicians that, and I'm one of them, I admit there's a lot of jobs that I wouldn't take because it got involved or got in the way of me being a musician. There's a lot of things I haven't done in my life because it gets in the way of being a musician. For instance, I could be a brain surgeon. It takes too much time. So I'd rather be playing music. But to that point is that we do a lot of things for our music, and I have a for instance. So I was playing this gig down in, I think it was Lake Worth or Lantana. I don't know if you remember the Dark Horse.
I do.
Yeah.
Right on. Is that the one on US 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the huge facility.
Right.
Yeah.
Used to play. I used to go there and play at the Dark Horse, and a couple of really great things happened at this place. So, the first of which is I was playing the trumpet mostly, and at that time, and I was doing. Every once in a while, I would step off stage just to kind of give it a little bit of a theatrical twist of what I'm about to do, So I stepped off stage and I'm whipping out the solo, man. And all of a sudden, these three girls come out on the dance floor and they start dancing around me. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, oh, yeah, Poppy's got it going on tonight. And I'm doing my solo, man. And all of a sudden, I feel these hands come around my waist. I'm like, oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. And then I feel something strange after that. My belt got undone, and then my pants went straight down to my ankles. Plow! I'm standing there in my underwear.
They pantsed you while you were soloing?
They pantsed me while I was soloing, and I kept going.
Yeah, of course you did.
I kept going. I kept playing the dance song, and they were just like, "Yeah, let's just give it to them." I might as well. Yeah, and then they just started, just kept dancing around me. Meanwhile, the band could not continue. They couldn't pay attention. They were laughing so stinking hard. They just couldn't. They were like, "Let's just hit the song. We can't even do this anymore." So.
They're not dedicated enough.
Yeah, not dedicated enough. Not yet. But then I had a gallbladder attack. And I was
On the same night?
No.
With your pants down?
Okay, yeah, Lee,
Oh,
that
like-
was a transition here. Like, let's
Transition.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about a couple weeks later. We come back to play at the Dark Horse and I had a gallbladder attack and I was like, man, it was wicked painful. And I went to see the doctor, and they were like, "Listen, we've got to do surgery. We got to take this out." And I was like, "Okay, cool, but I've got a gig tonight." like this is stuff you just kind of like give off,
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
You
got to
don't
wait
just
till
fluff
tomorrow.
that off, Just,
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I have a gig. Can I schedule this? Tomorrow. I'll come back and have it done then, like an oil change or some shit. So, so the doctor's like, okay, but if you're taking your own life in your own hands, you're going to have to sign, whatever. Okay. So I went and I played the gig, and I was like, dude, this really does suck. So the next morning I went to the hospital and I had my surgery. And it was like 2 days later that we had to go and play another gig. And I had staples still in and around my stomach, and I still went and played the gig.
Damn.
Now I'm playing trumpet. So imagine the pressure
That's got to be horrible.
that's being put on those staples, man. I could have shot one across the room, man. I was, just busted a staple out. But that's the kind of thing that, it's like when you become dedicated to your craft and dedicated to being a musician, there's like not a lot of things that'll get in your way to go and do it. If you're like just in it to win it, you're not going to give up no matter what happens. Like sometimes you have to like step back and go, okay, I broke my shit. I need to I need to chill out. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of musicians, and I think they know what I'm talking about here, if they're while listening to this podcast, you have done some crazy shit to go and play a gig.
That's fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
That's
so, and I mean, think about the drummer for Def Leppard. He's one-armed, and he had two arms when he started off with Def Leppard. You know what I mean? But then continued on.
Yeah, they kept him in the band.
Yeah, and just found a way.
Yeah.
And just found a way. That's just dedication. I think
Well, over in Europe, they don't feel so bad about being unarmed.
This message brought to you by
NRA.
I can't believe you have the gall to make fun of his story.
I was making fun of Def Leppard. Bill totally rocks.
He missed it.
that was punny.
There you go. That was right. Yeah. You hear what I said? It went over your head, I think.
Make fun of his story?
I said, I said, I can't believe you have the gall to make fun of his story.
Yeah, that did go over my head. So.
Wow.
But Bill doesn't have the gall.
Yeah, not anymore. But I'm bum. Yeah, we got to work on that sound effect there. So, cool. So yeah, that's
Hit it.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like like my dad 25 years ago had open heart surgery, and that was the one thing he always was worried about was, was just sneezing even because you felt like your whole inside was going to come out because you've had that big crack in the middle of your chest there. So
yeah, I remember looking over at the sax player Tommy Hoffelder and going, dude, if you see my intestine pop out the side here, would you let me know, bro?
Hey, is this yours?
We push that in or what?
I've done the same. I've done a similar thing. My bike went down in the backyard, and I broke my collarbone. And I was in Crossbone at the time. We had a very active gig schedule. So I'm like, I don't cancel gigs. I'm not going to let this happen. So I went to some store with the other guitar player, and we got a chair for me to sit on so it wouldn't have to hang on my shoulder. It was my left collarbone. You hang your guitar right on there. Yeah. So we went and bought a chair that became affectionately known as the chair of pain. And I had broke a collarbone before, so I kind of knew the drill. And so I sat down to play, and I could pretty much do it, but what I couldn't do without blinding pain was bring my hand back up the neck.
Yeah.
So what I did was I rigged up a bungee system, and I tied a bungee around my left wrist, and I tied it around my back to my right shoulder. So when I needed to, and it went over the top of the guitar, and so when I needed to bring my hand back up, I just went like this, and then it went over there. So I'm like, oh, this is going to work. I can do this. So we did 2 gigs, and then Keith Coors, the other guitar player, he went to me and he's like, I'm canceling the rest of our gigs, man, because you're clearly in a lot of pain and it's really affecting your playing. And I'm like, but he's like, nope, we tried it. Sorry.
It's like the Monty Python when the
It's merely a flesh wound.
it's really a flesh.
Yeah.
I can still fight.
I don't like to cancel gigs. Like I'll show up to get like, and people like call me and it's like, well, we think it might rain. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've done gigs with broken bones before. Like rain don't scare me.
Yeah. So that's dedication, man. Quick story too. Recently, I was asked to help substitute as a band director at Martin County High School, and I went in there to help the kids out and stuff like that. And I figured, I don't have a lot of time with these kids, and one thing I know is like I know what stuff they didn't teach you because I was there too, and they didn't teach me this. And one thing I told them was, I said, listen, there's the main rule, number one rule to being a musician is you have to be dedicated to your craft. The second rule to being a great musician, see rule number one. You have to be dedicated to your craft. And that goes saying for anything that you put your heart into. What is it about music that grabs you like that? And it's still a mystery to me what brings us to continuously just rock on, no matter, you're blind in sweat. You got, sweat in your eyes. You can't even see. Muscles are hurting like that you forgot that you had, things like that, and you carry on, but just because for the music. So, dedication to what you're doing is just awesome, and I cheers to all the musicians out there who have busted their ass for their craft. So here's to you.
So, Bill, you talked a little bit in a previous episode. There was that you started off in trumpet in the military. What other music education did you have, or was that all just that? How did you learn the keys? How did you go from trumpet to keys and things like that?
The basics of for learning music was middle school, high school, and on the trumpet. But it was when I went to join the Army band. There's just a whole nother story in itself. So after basic training, you go on to music school. And music school is about 6 months long. And for the Army, it was combined together with the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. Air Force had their own special school. But anyway, the School of Music was in Little Creek, Norfolk, Virginia. 6 months long. They take 2 years of Berklee School of Music, smash it into 6 months, and say graduate.
Sounds very military.
Yeah, the memory I have is that we were probably 2 weeks away from graduating from basic training, and Desert Shield started. And after I graduated, from basic, and I went on to Little Creek, and I'll never forget standing there with probably about 120 other musicians, soldiers, Marines, Navy. And the commander came out and said, okay, so here's the deal, guys. As you know, we're going into Desert Shield. We may be going to war with Iraq. And so we've gotten our orders is that only about 40% of you are going to graduate. The rest of you are going to go on to prospective jobs within the military. So just understand that if you don't graduate, or if you don't maintain those certain levels, or this is what's going to happen. Dang. I mean, that scared the tar out of me. I was it. So, I buried myself in practice. Spent a lot of time in I think it was probably about I'd say it was 6 by 8 little room, sound room, sound booth. Practicing for hours a day, because if you didn't, you had to log your hours that you practiced. If you didn't practice enough hours, you weren't allowed to wear civilian clothes on the weekend.
Ooh.
And that was like the one thing you wanted to make sure that when you went to the bowling alley, you go get tore up, that you were not wearing your uniform. And on my birthday, I went to the bowling alley, got tore up, and found myself in a ditch on the way back to my barracks. And the MPs came by and picked me up, took me back to the barracks, and they were just like, "You're going to hate this tomorrow morning because we have to tell your drill sergeant." And I was like, "Oh, crap." So, yeah, I got the wake-up call, start beating your face, get down, start doing push-ups until you puke, basically. Was it worth it? Hell yeah, turning 21, and yeah, I got tore up. It was a blast, but the main thing was I graduated, and I graduated at the top of my class, because I'll be doggone, I didn't want to become a grunt. I just didn't want to go to war. I could, because that's what you do in the Army. You're still a soldier no matter what,
Right.
But it was after AIT, and I go to my unit out at Fort Ord. I'm sitting there, probably about 8 other trumpet players. We had a full concert band. I mean, it was huge. And as I started learning and who these people were that I was sitting next to, some of them were staff sergeants, first sergeants, sergeant first class, sergeant majors, and tons and tons of medals on their chests. Come to find out, not only are you in the band, but you're in the band with a bunch of killers. Like the flute player, the piccolo flute player, right? She could rappel from helicopters. She could jump out of airplanes. She was the baddest ass flute player I ever met in my
So this
life.
one time at band camp, we took over Iraq.
Right? So
Yeah, that movie would have went totally different.
these guys were badasses, man. Some of them were badasses, and they utilized what they used to do is they used to use the Army band basically as guinea pigs, fighting against other teams that would come in. They bring special forces in groups and stuff like that to set up mock attacks and stuff like that. And we were like, "Oh, you got us." Sorry. But then one time we were told, "Your guys are going to actually fight back." And this is when they came out with night vision, heat vision goggles. So they put me in a ghillie suit. If you don't know what a ghillie suit, look it up. It's pretty cool. They put me in a ghillie suit and put on night vision, heat vision goggles. They were testing at the time. These were beta. And they said, "Here's what you're going to do. We want you to sit over here and find a spot, and we want you to prepare to see a team come through. We want you to report how many of them there are, and and if they get too close, then attack." Oh, okay, no problem. Now, everyone's wearing these diodes, right? At the time, the way we used to do Army, games is instead of laser tag, was basically what it was. It was laser tag. You fired a gun that had a round in it, and it shot a little laser beam, and it would hit your diode, and beep, you're dead. They had these things also on concussion grenades, which was really cool. And I had one. I wanted to play with it. I couldn't wait, but I'm sitting there and I'm in my ghillie suit. It's nighttime, and here they come. I see them coming right towards me. They walked within feet of me, like I was a bush, right? So they walked past me, and I'm behind them now, and I decide, you know what? I'm just gonna get up and walk with them. Let's see what happens. Now this was a high, Like, these are special forces guys. They're not supposed to be taken easily. They walked past me, and I got up behind them, and their commander basically told everyone, okay, down. This was the symbol. Get down. Then he wanted to do a count off. So there was 12 of them. I'm number 13, buddy. It's not a lucky number for you today. So they're like, count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get to 12, and then I'm sitting there, and the guy in front of me kind of turns around and is like, "You're supposed to count off." I was like, "Okay, next time." He was like, "Whatever." So he gets up, and we start walking again, and then the commander stops again, and he's looking back like, there's something wrong with this picture. I still haven't figured out what it is yet, but there's something wrong here, and I don't get it. And he does the count off again, and the guy says, "You're supposed to count off." I go, "Okay. 1, 2, 3." And I threw a concussion grenade right into the middle of all of them. Boom! And all their diodes are going, beep. Now, their commander's losing his ever-loving mind. And
Oh, boy.
and the thing is that it was a lieutenant that told me to put this off. And, when you got a lieutenant and then you got a, full-board colonel and they're arguing, it doesn't work out well for the lieutenant. So I stayed the hell out of that argument. They didn't like the fact that I threw a concussion grenade in the middle.
Took everybody out.
Took their whole team out. They weren't cool with that. I was like, well, it worked, didn't it? It did. So you learned something, right? So they did learn something from that they could be taken if they weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And I can't give them a dirty lesson, but it was worth it.
That was a good one. Good job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Trumpet player takes out platoon.
That's
right,
right.
yeah.
They call me the
Film at
bugler.
11.
The bugler.
The bugler.
You
They can't toot their horn anymore, can they?
You bugled the shit out of that that platoon. The that's actually it's amazing, some of these little stories. And I was just listening to somebody kind of unwind another guy's book he wrote and other military guys, and it's like, this is all made, it's like, it's almost unbelievable, some of the stuff. But some of these stories from the last 25 plus years of the Iraq War, the Gulf War, Middle East, and all those things that we've done is I would almost say is that we've probably produced so many veterans just from the war on terror. Of a nearly 20-year war, right? Of so forth. So, so I'm surprised it didn't. Since you were able to stealthily take out a whole, I know, however many.
You'd have thought that number 12 would have figured out he was the last guy in the line.
Yeah, right. It's like, wait a minute, we only showed up with 12, and how come there's a 13th guy, right?
Didn't phase him at all that he suddenly wasn't the last one.
Right. So I'm surprised they didn't send you out to, out there to the front lines there. I mean, it's like, hey, you're good at taking these guys out, then.
We were close. We were getting ready for it. They kept us behind pretty much. The Army band with the 7th Infantry, we stayed behind, and we were giving them their what do you call it? We were doing their concerts and stuff when they were coming back. On the other note of that, I was also doing taps because I'm a trumpet player. So I did a lot of funerals too.
So after you blew them all up, you stood up and played taps.
That'd have been
on.
Dude. That
Diodes blinking everywhere.
Sounds like you invented emoting in games.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, Call of Duty or
Kill someone
whatever.
and dance on their body.
Yeah, hey, Fortnite.
Yeah.
For sure.
So if he was so close to you that you could whisper, "Hey, you're supposed to count," like, was everybody bunched together in this scenario?
No, I was right behind him. I was just directly.
You just you and that guy happened to be close enough.
Yeah, I
shouted.
him.
But nobody else noticed you were there until.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I think you just said that they were special forces guys, right?
Yeah.
They weren't so special then, I guess.
No,
Well, maybe they were short bus special.
They were definitely going through a training. They were definitely going through a training process because they were getting ready to learn more about the heat vision, night vision. See, Fort Ord was home to what they call the light night fighters. So this was an obvious choice, an obvious place for them to test the beta on this on night vision and heat vision goggles and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so these guys that came in, it was just they wanted to show them what the possibilities
How
are.
it works, right?
Yeah, and it worked really well. Now the only thing is I did listen to the instructions when they said, do not look through it, do not open your eyes when you throw a concussion grenade or flash grenade or take a shot.
You'll end up with Stevie Wonder eyes.
You will be blind like right now. Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
wow.
Yeah.
Very
So
crazy.
you threw the concussion bomb, shut your eyes, and pulled out your trumpet and played taps.
Y'all did, motherfuckers.
Die.
That's crazy.
Well, good job. That was crafty, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So,
He was dedicated to his craftiness.
Yes. That's a hell of a story there. So yeah. So when you aren't honorable discharge,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What would you leave the military as?
Specialist.
Okay.
Yeah, it was E4.
E4. There you go. E4.
That was a pain in the ass specialist.
So did you see any time overseas?
It's an octave lower than E5.
Yeah.
Now we were getting prepared for it, and they essentially lined us up to give us all the same shots that they were giving them, basically, because they were thought that we might be going over.
Right.
And it wasn't long after I got out that I think they did go over. It's just it's a matter. It's
Timing.
It's timing. It's all how they figure out who needs to do what logistically. So, and that's the one thing about the military is especially the United States military is our logistics kick ass. So
Think about it. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have to go over, man.
yeah.
He was doing USO shows, and like at the Roadhouse.
Staying local. Oh, and I got to play for Ronald Reagan and Clint Eastwood.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, they own a club there in Monterey, it's Monterey Bay. Yeah, called the Hog's Breath Inn, and it was I was playing with a group then at the time called Bo Williams, and we were doing stuff. We were doing like a Tower of Power and a lot of heavy funk soul and stuff. We had five horns, so we were doing some really good stuff. And
cool.
I got a chance to meet them.
So when are you going to incorporate some horns into now knowing that you have a horns player? Man?
Bill and I have been having multiple conversations, and it's on the list, and we have to get it done.
Yeah.
And just so you know, even though this podcast studio is in the hood, what you're hearing in the background are not
Devin's in the hood.
gunshots.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Devin is sneezing.
He's
in the
dying.
Oh
background.
no, I'm coughing.
Yeah.
He's coughing.
He's got COVID.
No, I think there's something from my ice got stuck in my throat.
It's getting warm in here,
Scratching
though.
my
It could be
throat.
that.
It get warm.
It's
It
getting
get
Sorry
warm
about
in
that.
Warmed up. Yeah.
I was
He's
about
warm in
I was about to dive down underneath
Yeah,
the table,
dude.
man.
Yeah. Well, it did kind of sound like car bombs in the distance, so I just wanted to
Jeez, that
make sure
sneeze-
everybody
the
knew
sneeze-
that we're all
he was
safe.
Backing up. So, oh my God. So,
But if I'm not mistaken, we're going to go ahead and review a song.
yeah, I know we got to get to it. Yeah, for sure. So, all right, cool. So, yeah, so a little bit more about this.
Dude, and before
Yeah. Do we have a little bit of a break?
Tracy's not here, I need some ice.
We need a Marge.
I don't know how to fix the ice situation here.
So,
Can you do that without crossing the camera?
sure.
And get some for yourself while you're at it. This section of the podcast is brought to you by the B3 Podcast Ice Getting Network. You can... Oh, did you just kick something out? It's a power cord. We don't need any power. It's cool. One of the cool things about this is a family of podcasting. We've got the B3 Podcast Networks, which is booze, brands, and... Well, that was what I said first, booze. Booze, brands, and booze. That's it. I keep wanting to say boobs. It's really hard to not say boobs in there.
Boobs.
Boobs, brands, and boobs. Or bands and boobs and brands and bands and brands and...
Bands and brands
Booze.
and bands and booze.
Okay, that's it. That's it. All right, there we go. So, yeah, we've got a...
I really miss Brad, actually.
Well, he was only here once.
He was here two episodes.
Oh, well, that's true.
That's
Two.
it.
I forgot about the second episode.
Yeah. because you blacked out. So
Well, it's because
But yeah,
he's such
we
a
do-
good bartender.
we do have an opening, folks. If you want to be a bartender for the show here and hang out with us and enjoying this debauchery and
It
so
is a
forth.
celebrity bartending opportunity.
Right. So
I mean,
yeah.
look at the subscribers on this channel. There'll be tens of dozens of people.
Actually, I think we're about up to. We're about I think up to.
And
About,
with your mom, I think we're up to 2.
hold on. I think we're actually.
How many? Do we have subscribers?
We do have
People are
subscribers.
looking. Oh my gosh, I'm so self-conscious.
No, yeah, man. So hold on here. Let me
I think
look
I
at the
feel better
channel.
now. By the way, that water helped.
We
wash
have
down whatever was
we have
scratching
80
me.
subscribers.
80 subscribers.
So man.
And
So.
to quote my dear friend Bob, a dog licking his balls after a year of production would have more subscribers than we do.
Well, you know what? If you can lick your own balls, you'd probably fall off the couch. Okay.
That's,
I'd give it
Just
a try.
saying.
I'd try.
Never leave the house.
so what we need you to do is subscribe yourself and also subscribe, because we haven't even made it to the level of dog balls yet.
I thought about it afterwards because we were doing so much at the festival. I said I should have been running around with a QR code and make people, scan it to go there, click subscribe, and so forth. But
Well, I'm no better. I didn't think of it. We had hundreds of people all gathered at once.
Yeah,
and
so
we didn't even ask them to subscribe to the channel
so we were too
or
busy.
pronounce subscribe properly.
Yep. So anyway, all right. Now that we're replenished here, so our song here we're going to review here. So
So we always feature Florida bands, and this is a bit of a stretch because most of the band actually lives in Europe, but the drummer in this band is a good friend of mine. He lives in Florida, and so we're going to call this Florida music, even though it's very European. This is a song that features Patrick Johansson, his new band First Strike.
okay, here we go. Oh.
We're falling apart, could never know that the dream of this land would fall, and all of the lies is getting clear. But I know a way to go into that void again. I know that you want to be alright. I know that you know what I believe. Beware of the freedom. Beware of the lies.
There must be an obvious Pearl sponsorship there.
That was great.
Wow, jeez, wow.
Yes. So, of course, I expected that kind of quality from. And so the tie-in is, remember a few weeks ago we did a review of Branford Highway.
Right.
And that studio in the video, that, if I'm correct, that's where Patrick's drums were recorded in Florida
Oh, okay. Okay.
at the Branford Highway Studios.
Okay. Yeah, because you mentioned a lot in that episode was talking about how you'd reached out to Patrick for a band for Bike Week or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah. So when Patrick records drums, according to Dwayne, he likes to record them at Dwayne's studio.
Okay. All right. Wow.
So it's a good sound.
Yeah, it is.
And so I'm a huge Patrick Johansson fan. I'm going to say rhythm, and here's why. Not just because the drums are great, but because even what the guitar players were playing was very rhythmic, in sync with the drums.
The double bass driving that Patrick was doing was just moving along, right? In the same aspect of, I don't think, it's he did just the right things to not overpower the song either, too.
He powered the song without overpowering.
Right, over filling or over. Again, it was just enough to kind of keep and give everybody their space to do their thing. Right now, again, there's 2 guitar players in it, right? And I think, if I was correct, if I think that's is that from what I saw or heard, I don't know. It's
The video production was awesome. They all
I
looked
know.
superhuman in there.
The music production was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was so
recorded
clean.
well. The singer's a great singer.
oh yeah. So
He looks like Viggo Mortensen in The Lord of the Rings.
Right?
yeah,
That's what I kept looking at him going, he looks really familiar.
yeah,
is
that's
that
Viggo Mortensen.
Aragorn or whatever. What's his name?
Aragorn. Yeah,
It was a really good mix.
yeah.
So-
the sound was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's. I liked how driving it was. So let me take a step here before we go down this path. So what would you say very similarly referenced other band would you kind of reference equate this to? I'm thinking a little bit Dream Theater. It's kind of a vibe.
A little bit
that I
Dream
get,
Theater, but I'm also thinking like kind of Europe,
Mm.
the band Europe, like the Final Countdown kind of vibe.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I hear you on that one.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm again. I was really trying to listen for the guitar stuff. A good riffing. A lot. Again, like Devin said, a really good mix. Love the guitar aspect. But yeah, Pat was just driving it right. Yeah. That
I mean, the thing that I can hear the most listening back is the
and he was you could tell like watching the video, but then listening to it also at the same time is seeing and hearing it. Pat's a fucking metronome there.
He's crazy, insane. He can do that all night long.
Yeah. So I mean, I've seen him perform, and
I've done shows with him and with the guys from Branford Highway and Patrick, and we closed the night out with Hotel California, and it was like as if Dream Theater was playing Hotel California. Because like it was like it was awesome.
How's that go? I was thinking a little bit of Queensryche.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
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 I mean, I don't want to, pump their heads up. Too much.
He's had the same kind of open upper palate high notes that
Yeah.
Jeff Tate does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm rhythm.
I'm rhythm.
Okay.
Rhythm.
All right. So
What about you, Devin? You're the tiebreaker, 3-1.
Did you say 3-9?
So I'm not very musical. Like I'm not very musically like trained or anything. But I honestly think strong blend of both in this song.
Okay.
Personally, because I was trying to listen to both, and I feel like this is a type this genre. Maybe it's because of the genre. This genre doesn't work with one of the other missing. With either one missing, or lacking, it doesn't really work, in my opinion. So I feel like it's kind of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you totally. But I'm listening back in my mind, and the first thing that comes is the drum part. So the
I
the
agree with
riffs are
you.
great,
Yeah.
and I'm biased though because I like Patrick.
I do agree though that the drums were very like powering the song, like truck like
They push it right along.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it goes back to, I think, we talked a lot about this is where, yes, the drums are the foundation for everything, right? It helps kind of elevate the guitars.
Right, but the thing that is important to your point, Devin, is that the guitars and the vocals weren't doing the same thing. They weren't like chugga along with Patrick.
Right.
They were doing other stuff
And they-
to create some counterpoint and
had-
create a little bit of a groove going on there.
Right.
Else it
They
would
had
just be like,
moments of they had moments of like heightened like feeling, like it really high. There are moments where the guitar was just like wailing and it was like emphatic, like it was an emphasis on
Yeah.
that moment in the song.
Yeah, there was never a moment in the song where you were waiting for the next part. It
Right.
was just like right there.
It's just
right
go,
there.
it's just going.
Right
It was
there.
just. So how long was that song, Devin? What it was to show you? It's like about a 4-minute song, maybe. Okay, you can already close it. But I guess the point is, that double bass driving for nearly 4 or 5
I
minutes.
played
right?
with Patrick. He can do that for hours and hours.
Yeah,
and hours
so
without
for sure.
stopping.
So, but does it say
6 minutes.
6 minutes? Yeah.
6
so yeah,
minutes.
that's
6 minutes.
insane, right? So. Yeah, so all right, so we got rhythms all the way around here. What was your and you were a rhythm? Were you going with a rhythm?
I'm kind of leaning in the middle, riff them
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
I'm definitely rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, rhythm.
Very cool. All right, so there you go. So
What are you, Paul?
yeah, I said rhythm.
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't listen to what he says. Sorry.
I know. So why start now? Yeah, and never. So all right, so Bill, while we wrap up here, so do we got another MVP? Do you got somebody you want to recognize? Give a little shout out there.
Let's see.
The Kevin McLaughlin band for hiring you all the time.
Let's see. Kevin McLaughlin.
No, just kidding. No, don't do that.
Checks in the mail.
Actually, I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine who I played with for umpteen years. He just moved away, and sad to see him move away from the area. Tommy Hoffelder with the band Quick Fix. He and his wife moved away just recently, and Quick Fix is no longer in this area, so it's a bummer because they were really, really good. Good band. That was a follow up to Boss Groove. Tommy continued forward, going in that direction. I went and played country music for a while, But hey, that's the thing. It's
And that reflects in your piano playing. Actually.
yeah, you have to venture out once in a while, do something a little bit different, challenge yourself. If you're not, you'll become stagnant in your music playing, and then it'll show in your songwriting because you won't be able to flex. You know?
If you only stay one lane and don't kind of right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right. So Tommy
Hoffelder.
Hoffelder. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
great sax player.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we played together for years with Boss Groove and Up All Night, and yeah, we did a lot of work together, and so yeah, sad to see him go, but happy that he's changing his stars and he's going up near Nashville, Tennessee, so he'll be around a lot of musicians in that area.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Very cool. So, all right, there. So, wow, this has been an interesting episode here. We've learned about the military, learned about how the badass.
How Bill has pioneered the use of night vision goggles to take down the special forces.
Right. Yeah. So, they embodied the whole Rambo movies after Bill and his whole.
Yep, they
military
used to
career.
call them Rangers. Now they just call them Anger, because he took them out from behind.
Rangers.
Hey,
When you're in the military, that means something
Oh,
totally
hey,
different.
take you out from behind. What are we talking about here?
that's the that's Navy.
Oh, sorry. That's I got my branches mixed up.
Come on, leave those seamen alone.
Yeah, so when you're in a big metal box full of semen, what do you expect?
So, all right. So Bill, so anything you got coming up here, here the second half of December, first of the year?
Well, for me personally, I have every first Friday of the month, from 1 to 4, I'll be playing at Conky Joe's in Jensen Beach. That just recently fell in my lap.
Oh, good job.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so it'll be a nice little solo gig I'm doing for a while, and then and I'm picking up a lot of other local gigs in the area. But playing with Kevin McLaughlin band for sure. Working with Ada Nicole Sanger and getting we're trying to get her band up and running, you know, so that way when the call comes in and says, "Hey, it's time," we have some product ready to go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, staying very, very, very busy musically, and I'm thankful for that. I would love to do more, and that's just it. Being dedicated to your craft. Just can't stop a train, man. Yeah.
No, if you're, what do they say, that if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like a job, right?
Yeah. You'll never work a hard day in your life.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, cool.
Only hard days are when you can't do what you want to be doing.
Exactly.
Or it's a hard day's night, I guess, too.
Yeah, man.
I've been working like a dog. So, yes, so as we wrap up here, Mr. McLaughlin here, December 10th, again, we're almost at the end of the year. Can't believe how...
Well, don't push us over the cliff yet. We are still living inside 2024, the year of more. So we wish for you to get more Christmas presents than ever before.
Yeah.
We wish for you to get more out of this year than you've ever gotten before. And we wish for you to be more ready for next year than you've ever been before.
And we would like subscribers more.
Yes, we want more subscribers than we've ever had before. We want to get up to 81,000.
Yes. Or 84.
84,000.
All right. So, anything to in closing here, other than thank you for tuning in to this podcast here, and again, don't forget to review, rate, and follow us on socials, YouTube.
Absolutely, and check out our partners. Check out the JNC podcast, JNC TV. Go to the Kevin McLaughlin Band, kevinmclaughlin.com. See everything we've got going on. And
So want to hear more of my coughing? Go to Ghost on the Ox.
Ghost on the Ox is a very important part of the B3 network. I hope they've officially been brought into the B3 network at this point.
We're still negotiating there. So he's playing a little hardball here. So I think he's holding out for more money, I think, actually.
Yeah,
So.
that would be smart.
There's money involved? Hold on.
Yeah, you need to get a new...
Now we really have to negotiate.
Yeah, you need to negotiate a little bit better. So
Yeah, but the negotiations are backwards because,
yeah, that's right, yeah. So you take it and like it.
costs money to be a part of the...
That's right, yeah. So, Drums and Rums, and, looking to expand out our whole B3 podcast network.
Oh, you know what? I've got something that I'd like to plug. Now, the Kevin McLaughlin Band is a page on Facebook, and I am promoting subscribers to my Facebook page. I have brought it down from $5 to 99 cents a month. And for 99 cents a month, you're going to get to see every show Bill does with the band, every show that the band does, live streamed as it happens. And announcing it for the first time is if we get enough sponsors, then Devin himself is going to be doing a 3-camera shoot at every show and getting paid to be there.
Oh, okay.
And I'll cough extra for you.
Absolutely. We want
Extra throat noises.
to have you start off every show with a
There you go.
That sounds like a Black Sabbath song, right?
Yep, that's exactly
Sweet
it.
Leaf.
Sounds like a category the North Korean Army was looking at on Pornhub.
Yeah. What is the most searched phrase by the Korean Army? Do women actually choke?
Wow, I can't wait till I transcribe this episode and I give it the Chat GPT to say, give me a summary of this podcast.
Not in North Korea, they don't.
They started they started an offshoot from the Deep Throat channel. For the North Koreans, it's just the Throat channel.
Shallow throat.
Yes.
I don't know.
I learned that once you get 410 in North Korea, you're automatically conscripted into the army. 410.
Wow.
So, like, nobody chokes on anyone who's 410.
Anyway, so thanks for tuning into the podcast here. So don't forget to check out all the episodes here. Thank you again.
Sorry, guys. Come to America and eat your vitamins, and you'll be huge in every way.
We'll have it in the podcast too.
Yeah,
so.
we'll bring it to the podcast.
Yeah,
yes.
so for sure. So, Bill, thank you for coming on the podcast here.
thanks
We had a
for
great
having me.
time here. Great stories, great history. Again, you've got a lot of life lived. I guess, right?
Did some cool things.
Yeah, yeah.
Way cool things. And I got to see you do some of them.
Keep most of it off the podcast. You know what I'm like.
Oh, okay.
Some of the statute of limitations has not been lifted yet.
Yeah, that was after he was done at that Catalina gig. He went down to Tijuana, but we'll save that for the Patreon page here. So,
Right. Around the fireplace with the bourbon. We'll talk about it.
Bourbon.
so all right, so sir,
Another one in the history books.
right.
Paul, you totally rock. And I'm so proud to be Kevin McLaughlin. And this is the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast. This is Paul Robertson getting ready to cheers. Let's wrap it up.
Baby.
Cheers.